Phone.
Oh, that's because I wasn't talking into it.
No, it's low,
Oh,
big time
a
low.
little adjustment, maybe.
Yeah, you
Is
gotta
that
come.
better?
You gotta come on up some more.
Much better. There we go. Is that better?
Not in my headset. It's not.
Well, oh, it's because you turned me way down over here. What's wrong with you?
I don't. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, is that better?
I told you earlier you needed to adjust it.
He comes in here and messes with all the settings.
Is it wide open in your headset?
Hang on.
Because it's not wide open over here.
Now, is that better?
Still sounds. I mean, you can hear yourself, right?
I can hear myself.
But
I can hear myself.
all right.
Hang on.
Well,
What else did you change over here?
I changed a lot of things. Go to the go over there on your settings and your bass over there on that side. Turn your bass and turn your
Oh,
gain.
my.
There you go. There you go. Well, you was warned before we sat down, so
Well, I thought I had it all figured out.
now you got it figured out.
Dadgum.
I mean, you got a headset on. Y'all see, he's
Man,
got a
well-
headset on. He's asking me, "Does that sound good?" No, it don't.
I mean,
You
it
can hear
sounded. That is warm. That's
Well,
hot there.
that's okay. That's
That's how it's
better,
supposed to be.
better than where it was.
Now people can.
Well, I prefer you not to do that. This is not whatever they call that on the internet. I'm gonna be kind of distracted. I'm listening to you breathing over there.
Well, okay.
Welcome to Off the Dock
Welcome.
podcast, by the way.
Yes, and before we get going, I have a couple things I'd like to do. First of all, I've been doing not a very good job of doing this, but I want to do a little supporter shout out. So we have a couple businesses that we're involved with, not only that we get to work with, but also they support our channel. So Airlens Imagery, K&B Construction, they do a lot locally here, and Lake Life Solutions is a big one as well. And then we are actually adding one to the list tonight, and they are not a direct sponsor for our channel, but it's kind of like a little product review. I think it's super neat. I think that y'all will like this as well. But here at a local show, up here, there's a state park show. They do a Christmas event every year, and I stopped by the other day, and I love supporting small local businesses, and
Yeah, we all tend to lean into doing that.
yeah. So
Hey, listen, if you want, you ever want people to support you, you need to support others, right? I mean,
that's how it works.
I mean, you gotta make that circle go all the way around.
So, Mr. Tom over at TVS Laser Engraving,
Well, hello, Tom.
we
Is that local? Or is that
yeah,
in Savannah?
It's here. No, it's in Counts. Here in Counts. I got hooked up with him this weekend. He was marketing his stuff over at the show, and they do a lot of different things. But this is a cutting board. He offers a lot of different sizes and shapes, and I had him laser engrave my logo, my business logo.
So maybe we should do a whistling diesel product testing.
No, we're not destroying this.
I
No.
didn't say destroy it. We just got to test it to see if it can hang with the with some beating.
I bought.
Could you imagine if we put that on a table, drug out a sledgehammer?
No, that would not be a good product.
Laying on that thing.
Not a very good product review.
yeah.
But here is my intentions with this, and if you didn't get a better look, I'll kind of give you one here. So it's pretty neat. Normal size cutting board. I kind of it's multi-purpose. I have a family member that actually makes cutting boards as well, and it's just the fact that they can laser engrave it and customize it to your liking. I find really neat. But you've heard me talk about overlanding and off-roading, and I cook whenever I'm off-road, and so for a while I've been looking for just a cool cutting board that I could take with me that was kind of compact enough to pack up. And so I had Mr. Tom make me one, and he did a fantastic job. So he is here local in Pickwick, Tennessee. I'm sure that I have not spoken to him about it, but I'm sure that he would ship. So if you are interested in supporting his business, it is called TVS Laser Engraving on Facebook. So
That's what we should do on the podcast. Is we should commit our clients to things that they may not know.
well, I
Well, just
look
yeah, he'll do it. He'll ship it. Don't worry about it. Just
at the very
tell him
least.
Wyatt Barry said he
At
would.
the very least, just at least go check out his business.
Well,
If you
I'm-
order something, you can consult with him about potential shipping.
I'm sure if I was in a business and I was trying to get stuff going and people, I mean, that's small enough and I needed to, to make money and I'm trying to get, I would definitely would want to offer shipping. I'd ship it
Yeah,
anywhere you
yeah,
want to. I
heck
mean,
yeah.
that's easy to get
And
somewhere.
this
So it's
is
pretty good.
It's one of his bigger ones. So the other ones that they offer are a little bit smaller.
So does he actually make the board or is he just buying the stock materials and engraving?
I believe that he buys the stock materials.
Okay.
Yeah. So he does a lot of he does plaques and medals and all kinds of different engravings.
Where's that at again?
It's here in Counts, Tennessee.
The name?
The name is called TVS Laser Engraving. So
TVS.
I know for a fact that he is on Facebook, so y'all need to go check him out.
TVS.
And it's a pretty cool deal.
Okay.
It makes great gifts, by the way. If you need a Christmas gift last minute,
Yep.
he's super quick turnaround time. It took him 2 days to get that done for me. So yeah,
That's pretty good.
this is our. I kind of failed to mention this the other day. This is episode 22
Wow.
for us.
We're just growing right along.
I mean, even if it's just, here and there, we're 22 in now. We've made it through 20 without beating each
Yeah.
other up on air. So we're doing pretty good.
We're legal drinking age now. We're legally.
Well, yeah, that's
we're
right.
Legally drinking age.
Even
Even though we don't drink, but we could if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Legally, we could.
I think that we have just under 100 followers on Facebook, which the only reason I say that, if you are a subscriber on YouTube or if you watch us else or you listen to our podcast on Spotify or Apple Music, if you could go follow the Off the Dock podcast Facebook page, because we cannot go live on our Facebook page until we have the 100 followers. So that would be
we
a
gotta
huge
have
help.
100 followers,
Yeah, you have to,
and we gotta be 60 days.
that's right.
Wow.
Yep.
I can't wait till we go live on Facebook because I think that's going to really have a lot of people help.
A lot
them
of reach.
watching. Well, just watching us, because people are on Facebook so much.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like people sit on YouTube all the time and they're going to get a notification, but they're going to definitely get one on the Facebook. And if they're on, then it's easier for them to watch. And when we get the 60 days into our, what's the other one?
Which we've got to be close to that.
On what's the other one? The other social media, Facebook,
TikTok.
and TikTok.
Yeah.
So we're not. I mean, a lot of people stay on TikTok a lot,
Yeah, and the
and when it pops up saying that we're live, that'll really help get people. Watching.
it's a little bit harder to get to go live on, like I've been live on my personal page. I believe on TikTok you have to have 1,000 followers
Yeah,
in order to do that. And so
but we got to start getting videos on.
yeah,
TikTok.
we do. Well, what'd you do today? We had a little bit warmer weather today. It was 50s,
Got us back,
almost 60 degrees today.
got us back out there working. Working on them docks. Got people working on houses. We just was able to get back to doing some painting, trying to get some things solved before the. Yeah, guys, if you don't know it, we're almost a week and a half from Christmas.
Isn't that crazy?
Crazy. Crazy.
November went by really quick. but
Did it?
December
Was there even a November? I
No.
don't know if there was a September.
It went quick for sure.
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, I know it was here because a whole lot of money came in and went out. I know the bills got paid, so I know it happened.
Yeah,
But my gosh, it was so fast.
it's been quick. I yesterday was the first time in over a month that I have swung a golf club, which that was it was good to swing again. I had missed it a little bit. I'm thinking that our small short story here. One of the things that I have kind of, there's a guy at the golf course that we play at, and he's been working really hard on the golf course and trying to make things better over there. And one of the things that
And it's getting better.
it is, yeah, very much so. One of the things
It's getting better.
that we're working on, if you plan on playing any sort of competitive level of golf, or it doesn't even have to be competitive, but there in golf, there's something called a handicap. And the way that a handicap works, it is not a physical meaning. Handicap is a numerical term for how good you are in golf. That's pretty. It shows your skill.
Or how bad you are.
Yeah, it just shows your skill level.
It's to me, it's actually shows how bad you are, because if you're good, you don't need it.
Well, that is well.
When you're good, it's like someone saying I shoot par. You know, well, that's great. Well, everybody who shoots over par, well, that just shows how bad we are. The higher the score, the worse we are.
Yeah, in the competitive golf world, and when I say competitive, I could mean like at an amateur or pro level of competitive play, or just people that play in scrambles or local tournaments at their country club or whatever it is. You are based off of what your handicap is. You're matched with people similar handicap to you, so that makes it fair. If you are for the numerical system, the closer you are to zero, the better of a player you are. So somebody that goes,
and if you're positive, you're more in the pro, right?
You're in the pro setting, yeah. So if for people, I'm going to try to minimize the complexity of this. Typically, on a golf course, shooting par is up 72. So 70 to 72 is par golf. So if you are a golfer that shoots par golf, shoot even all the time, you would be considered a scratch golfer. That's what that means, scratch or zero handicap. If you are a player that goes out and you shoot a 100 every round, you're probably going to be considered a 30 handicap. That's about how that works. So if you're a pro and you shoot 5 under every time that you play, then you're probably going to be considered somewhere between like a +3 and a +5 handicap. So that's where a lot of your pros are. If you're a new golfer and you're shooting around 100, you're going to be considered a -30. So
that means that scratch guy's got to give you 30 strokes to be even.
Yeah, so that's how the negative works. So if what would you're probably what, a 15?
What?
Handicap?
No. Heck no. I'm probably a 30.
No, I really don't think so.
Yeah. Every time you and I go play, you should give me 30 strokes. That's exactly how it works.
Well,
absolutely. You
that's how
don't think I'm going to agree to 15. There's no way. I mean,
you can't shoot an 85?
No, I don't matter. You're giving me 30. You don't think, hey, look, I'm not you go trap somebody else into trying to be so manly, and they go, oh no, I'm a 10. Yeah, right. Then you go out and get your butt whooped. No. You're going to give me 30 strokes when we go play. I'm going to shoot 100.
I was about to take that into an example. If you were a 15 handicap and you shoot an 85 every time you go out there, and I'm a scratch golfer, that means that when Kevin and I play against each other, technically speaking, over the 18 holes that we play, I'm supposed to give you 15 shots.
That's right. You can't claim that you did a good day until you beat me by 15.
We can do that. I can beat you by 15.
Oh, I know. No, that's why I said 30. That's why I said 30. You're the one talking 15. You said you're probably a 15.
The whole point of where I'm going with any of this,
I might shoot on average. I might shoot on average between an 85 and a 90. And if I get out there and have a really good day, I might get that down into the 81, 82. The best I've ever done is a 78.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that was a really good day. But it was also on a course was playing every day.
Knew it like the back of your hand.
I knew, yes. And I'll throw this out there. I had just watched Phil Mickelson give one of those. He did one of those video things and was showing what average golfers don't do to lower their scores.
Mm-hmm.
And I took it and applied it. It worked immediately. It was crazy, and I didn't get any better. I didn't get any better at golf. There's a way. So if you shoot somewhere between 15 and 30. Right. So think about that. So what we're saying is you're playing golf and you're taking an extra 30 strokes that you should not have to take to play par golf, right? 30 strokes. So That's probably got a whole lot to do with how good you are. It's got a lot of the way that you're attacking the game. So you can be bad. You don't have to be. You can hit the golf ball 200 yards, and as long as you can do that repetitively, you can still get down and play close to par by just how you approach the game.
Yeah, strategy and consistency in golf are arguably more important than skill.
Yeah, Tiger Woods talked about this one time. He's talking about people don't approach golf with the intent to lower their score.
Yeah.
They approach golf with the intent to drive the ball as far as they possibly can.
It's true.
And here's another truth. And there's so much ego in golf because we're men. We're so ego driven that they go up to and here's the thing. Here's a thought. What difference does it make how you get on the green? Does that matter? Does it matter? Here's a question for most men. Does it really matter? You're on a par 3. It's 180 yards. Does it matter how you got on that green? If you can get on that green and get within 10 foot of that hole, does it matter how you got there? And here's the answer to that. Yeah, hell yeah, it does. Because you get up on the green and one guy's got a 9-iron in his hand and the other guy should be swinging a 6, but his ego says, I should be swinging the 9, and he doesn't make it. The ego in golf is crazy.
Yeah, the big thing that
why does it bother us so much? It shouldn't matter that you can drive at 340 yards, which is great, impressive. But I feel like I should have to do that in order to be good. No, I don't.
No.
I can still score. Here's the thing. I can still score a good score if I just need to be a little bit more accurate, right? Because I mean, 340, that's a lot of control, and it don't take much to get it off.
Mm-hmm.
So all I got to do is be very consistent with my 240, 230 yard shot, be very consistent with it, and I can still outscore you by being more consistent than you are, even though you can outdrive me like crazy.
Yeah.
But people don't take that approach. It's an ego. The game gets more ego than anything else.
One of the biggest coaching tips that I was ever given is you've got to play your own game. And it's really true. Even now, I mean, I'm going to get back on topic to where I was a minute ago, but to finish what I was saying.
What topic did we get you off of?
I was explaining the handicap deal.
I thought you did that already.
I'll finish that real quick. Basically, one of the things, the course has been under renovation for the past few months. It's under new ownership and new management. And for players of any level, whenever you have a home course, there is a system called the GHIN system. So I think it's called the
golf hit again system.
Huh? the GIN, yeah, again.
Go hit again system.
I think it's it's golf handicap index something. I don't know what the last letter is. But it's you.
Yes.
Hey, go.
Lay down.
That's the star of the show. That's our mascot. Yep. That's Cirrus. You probably can't even see him, but that's my dog. Anyway, with a handicap system, every time you play a round of golf, you would go and you input your score and what tees you played from, and then it will start to log your scores, and it will give you an average handicap. So the importance of that is that for people that want to go compete at any level, the more rounds you have, the more, I guess, the tighter handicap index you're going to have. So if you play 50 rounds, you're going to have a very accurate handicap index if you log every one of those rounds. And there's obviously the honor code system. You know, if you go out and you shoot 85,
golf is about honor.
If you go out and
unless you got cameras following you.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, even if you don't have cameras, if you go out and you shoot 85 every round, but then when you get to the clubhouse, you say, oh, well, I shot a 75. Okay, well, that's 10 strokes difference. So now you're going to go compete in a tournament, and they're going to put you with people that are shooting even par to 75, and you go shoot 90.
Yeah.
That ain't going to make much sense, and you ain't ever going to win that way.
No, well, I would do it the opposite way. I mean, if you're going to do that, I know a tournament's coming. I want to get my index up too. I shoot 95, baby. But most of the tournaments you go to are not scoring you on handicap.
Well,
They may like if you're going to play in a scramble where your handicap's going to come into play, is where it's going to be okay. We're going to put a scratch golfer with they're going to rank you A, B, C, and D golfer, and then that'll be based on your handicap. So we have high handicappers, medium handicappers, low handicapper, and a scratcher.
Yeah.
So we want to make it even. So you still got to go out there and beat the course.
Yeah.
But you can at least do it in that range.
one of my goals for this year is I'm really gonna kind of grind it out this spring and summer to play at the state level again. I'd like to really try to play in the state amateur championship, and with a lot of state level tournaments like that, or what you would call amateur or pro am tournaments. Although your handicap does not matter with your scoring, so like it wouldn't work like a scramble would. You cannot, per the USGA, you cannot enter particular tournaments if you have above the required handicap. So there's like 5 different tournaments that I'd like to play in this year or in 2026, and you have to have a 2.3 handicap or lower to play in it. And they will look you up. They look up your everyone has a number that's associated with them.
So that means you got to play par.
Yeah. I mean, 74 should be 74, 75 should be your highest round for 100 rounds, pretty much.
Could you imagine if they let me go play on one of those tournaments? Just let me play.
Well, I mean, it's hard. I mean, and that's what makes it so competitive at that level. I played.
Well, they have to thin the crowd down. I mean, because
you have to.
If everybody, I mean, I don't know why someone who shoots an 80 would think that they could go play in the tour.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, you're already not going to get close. But I mean, just to say that you could do that, and for most golfers, just understand, we're not talking about this. This isn't playing a 2.5 handicap from the blue tees.
Yeah. This is all the way back.
You have to play. First of all, you have to progress to get to the back tees.
Yeah.
If you can't play the back tees, so people may not understand that. I mean, I can shoot an 82. What tees are you playing from? Well, I'll play from the ridge. Well, that doesn't matter because that's not technically what we're talking about.
The difference
you have to play from a standard set of tees. Anything that's not from everybody says the tips. That's not the tips. That's the course. Everything above that is handicapped for your age or whatever. I play from the whites. I play from the blues. That's handicapped. The standard course is from the tips. The course is measured from there. And if you don't play that course, now a lot of people refer to golf courses as more than one course. So there's some people refer to it like the black course, the blue course, the white course. If you're playing from the white tees, you're playing a shorter golf course, but you're playing on the same course.
Yeah.
You back that up to the black tees, you're now playing the black course. Now you're playing the longer course.
Right. Yeah. There's generally it changes per golf course, but generally speaking, you're going to have 4 tee boxes. You're going to have the women's tee, which is going to be the red tees, and they're going to be all the way up, or they're going to be the closest tee to the green. Your second tee back is generally going to be your white tees, or yellow, can be white or yellow, and they're more so your senior tees, or that is pretty much what it is. It's a senior tee, and senior meaning 65 and older. Then you come back to the blue or white tees. That's going to be more so your, under 65 player. So most
average player.
Most people fit into that category, your blue or white tees. And then your black tees would be considered the tips, and that's going to be your furthest back tee. So as far as yardages go, every course is different. But like a women's tee box for all 18 holes, it ends up being probably a 5,500 yard course. So somewhere in there, 55 to 5,700 yards. If you go all the way to the back tees on that same golf course, you're talking probably a 73 to a 7,500 yard course on some courses. Most courses from the very back tees are probably somewhere between 72 and 7,300 yards. And you don't think that makes much difference, but when you add another 2,000 yards to your round, it's a lot. I mean, it's in golf. It changes in increments of 10 yards, like as far as your golf clubs go, and so
Well,
it makes a big difference.
A lot of things it does do also, it changes where, when they put the golf course in, where they figured um where your balls are going to land, and based on the hazards as to which things that they'll come in contact with. Whether it's going to put you closer to a choke point, where it backs you up from, or makes you go further from where where one of the sand traps are in the middle of the fairway. Heck, on some golf courses I've been to, it determines as to whether or not you're going to get over the hazard.
Yeah.
A lot of golf courses don't have hazards like big hazards to get over. Some do. I've played at Mallard Point. I played down at I can't think of the one down in Florida that I played that's not there no more. It had a pro course because they played the PGA Tour there one year, and there was a couple of those when you played what they call the black course from the blacks, from the tips. There was a few of those hazards. Those things are 230 yards to the fairway
Yeah.
from the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, when you hit it off the tee box, there was nowhere to land until you got past 220, 230 yards.
Yeah.
Everywhere else you wasn't going to find that golf ball. So
You
you
gotta eat
hit
the
it,
Wheaties.
you would hit it, and then did have a drop zone where you just go up there and drop. Because if you're playing from the tips, you wouldn't get. Of course, you shouldn't be playing from back there. You got at least. What I saw was you at least need to be able to fly that ball 240 yards, because there's a couple of spots you wasn't going to get past it. Now, there's a couple of spots, just like on our golf course, as we all found out playing, that they put a couple of hazards right in the right spot, 240, 250 yards, and it's a ditch or something like that, which is a hazard. You back up to those tips. Now your ball's going to land inside on this side of the hazard. Then you'll have to cross it. So it kind of changes the mental side of the game of how you're going to deal with those obstacles. And I think it's good for people. I don't really understand why people persist to say, "Well, I play from the blue tees." You could take a normal golf and just back up and go play the black tees and play it, and it'll change your golf. It's a different. You're going to get different looks.
Yeah, you'll definitely be hitting different clubs. What I like to do, I'm naturally very long off the tee box, and with what you were saying, if you're playing the correct tee box, most courses are set up that if you're playing the correct tee box, the holes where there is danger, like there's holes, you have to strategize or choose a different club to not be in that. So if you're hitting a driver from the white tees and it goes in the ditch because you hit it, let's just say right down the middle, but it went in the ditch. Even from my tees, if I hit a driver, I'm going to be hitting it in the ditch. So on both of our occasions, we're both hitting different tees, but you might back down to a 3-wood or a hybrid, where I would back down to a 3-iron or a 4, whatever it may be. And so that was a huge thing in college golf.
Well, there's an advantage. So there's a lot of advantages either way. So some people may not understand this. Your tee boxes aren't necessarily set up because it's easier. It's all set up based on range.
Mm-hmm.
How far you hit the golf ball. It's not easier. So here's what you don't know. The golf course, if I'm designing a golf course, I'm not putting up a set of white tees because that box is easier. What I did was I've just put you a white. I'm going to put that white box. If I've got a pro player, and let's say I've got a hazard out there, and I've got that hazard at 280 yards, right? I got a pro player, and he can hit it 300, all right, or somewhere in the 275 range. He's going to hit it from the tips. Well, he's got to deal with that hazard. Watch this. If you playing from the white tips and you can only hit the ball 240, but I moved your box up 40 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what I just did to you?
Put you in the ditch.
I put you in the danger zone. I didn't make that easier for you. What I did was I'm making you have to deal with that hazard just like that other guy is. So technically, I'm even out the course for both players having to deal with the same situation. Here's the trick. If you're in the white tees, it's probably better for you if you would back up and hit from the blacks, because that's going to remove you from reaching them hazards, and you're going to land in a nice, good spot. Then you're going to have to, then you go over the hazard. You'll never land in that hazard.
Yeah.
And some people don't even look at it that way. And that's where I learned that the time that I shot that 78 or 79, what it was, after watching Phil give that video, and I had already heard Tiger Woods talk about planning your play, planning your play, the PP to golf, planning your play. Most people don't think about planning how they're going to go play that golf course. You don't know this, most people know this, but pros, when they go out to what they call a practice round. But they don't practice. They're not doing what you think they're doing. Because if you follow them, if you get out there and go watch them, they might go to a hole and hit golf balls from everywhere. Because they may think, well, if I'm on the box and let's say whatever their miss would be, you would know this more. Because they know where their misses are, right? So, well, if I really miss this, it's going to go over here to this spot, and they'll go over and hit golf balls from that spot, going back towards the ring. So they're going to hit in different spots. They're going to putt from different spots. They're trying to learn the course, and what they're doing is they're planning it. They're planning how they're going to attack the golf course. They literally go play by play. All right, I'm gonna hit my job. My plan is to hit the tee box from here. I want to land there, however many yards that is, and wherever that's at. The reason I want to land there because I'm gonna go from there, then I'm gonna go over to there. And when they're playing golf, let's say they screw up a hole. For amateurs, we're like, well, I'm swinging the club wrong and all this, and the only thing we think about is how I can fix my swing between the last terrible shot and the next terrible shot.
Yeah.
The pro player not. That's already drilled into them. Their job is to get back on their plan. When I go back to the next tee box, I'm not so worried about the last shot. What I'm trying to do is get back. All right, I screwed that one up. I lost a shot, and now I got to get back in my plan. Here it is. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there.
And that is so much easier said than done.
Well, yeah.
So much.
It is easier to say, but at least you started off with a plan. And that right there, guys, that can pull 5-6 strokes out of your game.
Oh, yeah.
Just like
a
that.
single hole.
Because you're it's almost like managing money. Dave Ramsey, which I like that guy, when my first time getting out of debt in my life, the very first thing I learned about Dave Ramsey, you could do two things with money. There's only two things you can do with money. You can either tell it what to do or let it tell you what to do. Either way. In other words, you either plan where your money goes, and if you don't, it'll just plan you.
Yeah.
It'll go wherever. So, and you'll spend it, not know you spent it. People who save money tell their money what to do. Same thing with a golf ball. You can either try to tell that golf ball, hey, look, I want to go here. Now, you may not be able to do that. Like, you may not be able to hit it there where you want all the time, but at least if you've got a plan, you're trying.
Yeah. In college golf, it was so precise, I guess is the word. But
that's the name of the game.
Yeah. When we played in college golf tournaments, we were there for 3 days. We would play a practice round. And the first day, the tournament was 2 days. So we would play a practice round the day before. The first day you play 36 holes, and then the second day you play 18, and you're walking. So, this is why you condition and you work out and all that stuff, because you have to have high endurance for this, because that's a lot of walking. But anyway, in your practice round, or our team at least, a lot of us would hit different. We would hit 2 shots we'd go tee box and hit 2 different shots with 2 different clubs, and then we'd go to the fairway and we would hit 2 different shots from 2 different clubs from 2 different distances. And then when we get on the green, we would actually grid out the green. And we had a scorecard book, and every single hole, I bet I had 12 bullet points of notes on that hole. So let's just say I get to hole 6 and I've hit my driver 3 times and I've hit 1 fairway. So I really need to hit the fairway on number 6 because it's a birdie hole. Okay, so now I go to number 6 and I'm looking. I have 2 options. I can hit a driver and I can pipe it 330. And if I pipe it down 330, that's an eagle or a birdie. No worry, no doubt about it. But if I don't hit the fairway, I've got trouble on the right and trouble on the left. Or I can hit a 3-iron and be 60 yards shorter and lay up and guarantee a birdie. So I know I'm not confidently hitting my driver. I'm going to hit my 3-iron. So kind of what you were saying earlier, I think that it's wired in men that you want to hit the ball as far as you possibly can. And I'm very gifted to be able to hit the ball far, but for the people that don't hit it far, let me tell you something about being able to hit it far. You get yourself into a lot more trouble than you think you do when you hit it a long way.
When it's off, it's
right.
way
so,
off.
Like for somebody that whenever I play over here a lot and I'll play the same tees as everybody else, I like hitting a 5-iron off the tee box or a 6-iron, because that's putting me guaranteed. Not guaranteed. 90% of the time, that's putting me in the fairway. So I know that I've got a great approach shot. If I can hit a driver a million miles, yeah, that's great. But if I hit a driver, now it's what's called scrambling, meaning I've got a weird chip off the side of the green over a bunker. I have to hit a flop shot. I've got a terrible lie. The ball's buried in the rough. I can't get any spin. The greens are too fast. I'm on the wrong side of the pin. Like there's so many things that can go wrong just because I wanted to hit it a long way. There's times that I learned that pretty quickly with college golf. It taught me to bat. In fact, my college golf coach, it was actually my first week as a freshman. And we had a small team starting off. I was the 6th man, and he took my driver out of my bag. I had just gotten fitted for this driver right before I went to college. I was so excited about it, man. I'd spent so much money on. My dad had spent so much money on that driver, and I played our qualifying round with the driver, and my coach took it out of my bag. Never used it again in college.
That sucks.
It sucked, man. So I played
really
college golf with a 3-wood and a 3-iron.
What really sucks is the fact that you can hit all of them long enough that it didn't matter.
Well,
that's what sucks.
That's so. I've
been telling him we need to do do our own video, and it's called "You Suck Golf." And every time he hits a good shot, I get to holler, "You suck."
we need to. We ought to go hit on the simulator one night, and we should film it and have a competition.
Film him hit. It's not a competition, really.
It's
just watching you hit a long ball.
We could handicap it.
The rest of us are behind. But I do want to say some things, because what I'm talking about in being able to take shots off your scores, obviously I'm talking primarily to people who have a lot of shots to take off your score. When you get to the level of where they're at in college and those guys, they don't have a whole lot of shots to be taken off their scores. But for us, we got a ton of places. And it's odd at what can drop your score. I can tell you this, I'm just saying from my own experience, and I only speak from my experience, and that's the only thing I know. I know that I can walk a course and I'll shoot better golf walking a course. Now, I get tired, but I play better golf walking a course than I do on a golf cart. And here's why I think why. I'm going to tell you why I think why, and then you can tell me why you believe so. Because here's what I believe. I believe that when I start hitting bad shots, I want to hurry up and get back to the golf ball so I can hit it again and correct it. When in actuality, if I just took a little more time before I got there, I probably wouldn't overthink so much. And it's like at a driving range. And you go to the driving range and this is something that I do for myself. I try to do for myself, and I don't seem like I get very far with it, but I do try. Is to try do anything I can to stop from rapid firing golf balls, thinking I need that was a bad shot. Hit another one.
Machine Gun Kelly out here.
You know, I hit a bad shot. Shoot another one. Hit another one. Hit another one. And honestly, it's almost like you're just training yourself to shoot bad shots. Instead of working on a routine or something, so that you can have a routine of how you go through your shot routine, because
Yep.
you see pros do it all the time. Pros have a shot routine. You break the shot routine, they'll stop, go back through the whole process, go through that routine, aligning it up, whatever
What
it
was the
is.
first thing that
Well, yeah.
we tried to establish when we started doing lessons?
Routines.
Yep.
Having a routine, and it'll slow you down. First of all, it'll slow you down from just rapid firing golf balls.
Yeah.
Because eventually on the range, I bet most people, because first of all, we're out of shape. We're not have the stamina to sit there and hit 100 golf balls like that. And I bet almost 50% of the golf balls that hit on the range, they hit out of shape, which means the more golf balls you hit, the worse you're about to get. You're not going to get better. You're eventually going to get worse because now you're fatigued. You've gotten fatigue is set in. You probably don't know it at the moment until you're just really tired. And it's like, now you just can't even have composure over the golf ball because you didn't hit so many dang golf balls. And because you've hit them so fast,
Yeah.
your muscles, it's like doing a workout on a bench. You're getting fatigued through that process and you're just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And then so it's interesting. But playing golf, for me, walking a golf course, I've played my best golf walking a golf course. My absolute best golf I've played. The one I shot that's in the below 80, I was walking a golf course at the time.
Yeah. I mean,
Anything I've done below 89, I've never shot below 89 by riding in a golf. I was on all the ones that I shot below. I was walking.
Yeah.
And that ain't many.
I believe that.
Like 5 times probably I've done below.
No,
And it was all during the period when I was walking.
I believe that because, there's two sides to walking. One, in your case, tempo is really important. Like even with a golf swing, if you can slow down and stop being amped up, you can swing 75% instead of 100%, and the ball is not only going to be hit better, but it's going to go further. But talking about fatigue and talking about being in the cart and rushing, a lot of golf is mental. And so if you go and you're in a golf cart and you can just zip over and you are PO'd because you just topped the one you just hit or you hit it fat, you're still mad at that golf shot by the time you get to the next one. So when you're walking, you got time to sit there and get that out of your brain and say, okay, I need to figure out my plan for the next shot. So you've got, I don't even know, a minute and a half, 2 minutes between walking from where you were to where your next shot's going to be. And you have time to breathe. You have time to stop and collect yourself and say, okay, we got this. I know this next shot. We're going to make this good. Now, the alternative side, which I struggled with a lot, I was a hothead, but not really like a hothead as in breaking clubs and stuff. I would get really down on myself, especially in competitive golf, because I would be, most tournaments that I played in high school on some of the local tours and stuff were 2-day tournaments. So you played your first day, and then depending on your first day, you would get tee times for your second. And, I would kind of be maybe middle of the pack, maybe on the upper half of that pack going into the second day. And I would be feeling confident about my round that day because now I know the course. I know how to play it. I know what to hit. I'm going to just try to stay consistent with what I did the first day, and I'll get through 8 holes and get through 9 holes, and I shoot even par. I'm like, man, I'm going to keep this rolling, baby. Here we go. And then we get to number 12, and it's like a double bogey. Okay. Don't know why I just did that, but they just canceled all my momentum. That double bogey did. I'm only 2 over, but that double bogey just canceled that momentum. So now I get to 13. Easy hole, par 3, downhill, short club, not a problem. I know this like the back of my hand. It's 10 yards short and goes in the water. Great. So now I'm hitting 3 off the tee box. I have to hold this out now to make par to stay at 2 over, right? And I know I'm like 2 strokes off the lead, where I was before my double bogey, and now I'm in the water and I'm hitting 3 off the tee box. So now I have to hole out, basically hit a hole in one from the tee box to make a par, or I have another guaranteed bogey or worse. It's a snowball effect.
Right.
And if you don't control yourself, I'm telling you, man, I had one situation. You're talking about routine. It's kind of funny. Last night at the simulator, one of the guys that I was playing with, I on the simulator, which it's a video game, basically, you're hitting off of a mat. We were hitting a bunker shot, and I had taken my wedge and I hit it. I put it like a foot, right? It was like a gimme birdie or whatever. I hit it great. And I'm wearing tennis shoes, and I was knocking the sand off my shoes, and I wasn't paying attention to it. And he said, "You know that you've played a lot of golf when you're knocking sand off your shoes and you're standing inside
in a simulator."
But yeah,
no sand. Well, there's another reason that I wanted to talk about this walking concept, because I think there's another aspect that I don't think people understand. Before we go a little bit further, I've just noticed, and I forgot to tell you earlier, check your base, your low setting knob, and see if it's not turned up too much, because you're really.
Is that better?
Yeah.
My mid's up.
So here's something I had thought about, because I'd questioned as to why that when I was in this routine, I was also working on, trying to get more in shape. So the reason I shot those scores during walking time was because I had walked, I don't know, I was there for a month or so. I was just walking them, trying to, see what to do. And I noticed that I had shooting better scores. But here's something else I thought about. I just thought about it not too long ago. I was thinking about this. I was wondering why riding in the golf course. Obviously, the mental game. There's the mental game, but there's got to be this thing that I think my best. Here's what I've noticed on the driving range. My best hits on the driving range are normally between 10 and 30 golf balls in. The first 10 not that great, then and so that's all about warming up, right? That's all about your body getting warmed up, getting loosened up, letting the muscle memories do what they do, and not having like hiccups in your swing and stuff. And I wonder, the walking has got to keep your body warmer. In other words, the blood's flowing more. You're staying limbered up. You sit in a golf cart. You ride it around. You go from hot, cold. The body's going from being warmed up to being sedentary. Now you got to jump out and hit a golf club. Hit the golf ball. You sit back down in a golf cart and you drive. So there's got to be that relaxation for most people that don't probably exercise a lot, because a lot of golfers are not they're not just exercising. Yeah. So that could probably be a lot of reasons why golfers, when they're playing, and I've noticed this too, go through these warm and cold spells on the golf course, and it could have a lot to do with the body just not staying, active enough and doing all the riding around.
That's another, like, if you're at your local country club and there's somebody that you really, really want to beat, y'all might have similar skill level, tell them, I'll go out there, I'll play hole for hole with you, but we're walking. They ain't gonna play with you. They won't do it because of fatigue. The fatigue, if you're not used to it, you don't realize how far that is. The average 18 holes, it's like anywhere between 6 and 7 miles. I really think our course is just under 8 miles. I 18
like
holes.
Walking a golf course.
I do too. I really, this summer I plan on doing that a lot.
I like walking the course. I enjoy it. For me, it's more of a, you kind of you get to enjoy it. You get to enjoy the scenery a little bit more. You kind of dialed in. Now, there's golf courses I don't want to walk. This one being one of them. And the reason,
one's tough.
Well, it's not that it's
hilly.
It's not really that. It's the way they're set up. If you go, to me, I've noticed on a lot of the higher end golf courses, they're the tee boxes aren't stretched out the way they are like here, like this. Here where we're playing at, you can tell that they were doing their best to fit this thing in. There's some of them tee boxes are half a mile from one another.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played in golf courses where they were no tee boxes like that. They didn't have tee boxes where you were half a mile from one other tee box. You had to drive down the road and go around the corner and over there. The one I played in the most when I was younger, you get off the green, the tee box is right there.
Mm-hmm.
You get off that green, the tee box is right there, and because
where did you play? That sounds like there's a lot of golf courses in Memphis like that.
But Olive Branch Country Club.
Oh yeah.
But so I mean that was on a huge big piece of property. It wasn't sprawled out through a neighborhood that had to go all the way around the world, like here. So you leave you leave a green, and you got to go half a mile, to get on another tee box.
Yeah.
I mean there's 2 or 3 spots like that. I mean you literally, I might be longer than might be further than half a mile. That 2 of them.
There's a lot of walking on that course
from where you. Well, I'm talking about walking between. I mean, there's a difference in
the road.
There's a difference in walking the course, but then you've got to go from one tee box, from one green to another tee box, and that is a half a mile. Well, that's a lot farther.
Yeah, I think the most. I think the most brutal course that I have ever walked was a tournament at the Golf Club of Tennessee, and I think that course is in Franklin or something like that. Man, that's like a 7,400 yard course, and there is a 200-foot minimum elevation difference between tee box and green on every hole. Man, some of these are like climbing a mountain. Oh my god! And you're playing.
But you think about
a lot of
you
golf.
think about golfers that like being outdoors, and I don't know how many times on the golf course people talking about to get in shape. Well, if you just get out of the golf cart and walk the golf course, you could do 2 things you like doing.
Yep.
1, help yourself get into shape, getting your steps up, and 2, play golf.
Yeah.
At the same time, I mean, I like playing par 3 courses. I've played a couple of par 3 courses. You have to walk them. Man, those things are fun. I love a par 3 course.
Yeah, they're fun.
I like to play the we used to call it the par 3. So every golf course has got a par 3. We call it, that's what we had figured it out. Just you could just go play from the red tees and play every hole as it's a
par 3.
Par 3. So you play 18 rounds from the reds, and it's they're all par 3s, right? So that's just the way you count it.
That'd be kind of fun.
Well, I mean, it's not as fun as you think it is because it's tough.
Oh, and now I'm saying that it's hard, but
because I mean those par 5s, those red tees, you still 200 and something yards away, and that's a par 3. I mean, every hole, if you play for the reds, every hole is a par 3 for the men. I mean, for you, not that great big of a deal, but for a lot of people, though, some of those par 5s are going to be tough.
That kind of leads into what, well, not even leads in that. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, or my comment about my coach taking my driver out of my bag. I noticed my ball striking got so much better when I had to focus more on hitting my irons, especially off tee boxes. So that's a benefit to playing par 3 courses, is that you're not banging away drivers. You're.
So why did he? What was his reason for handicapping you like that and taking that driver away? Was it because you just had so many out of the fairway shots with it, and you were just persistent to go with it anyways?
It wasn't. Yeah, I had a lot of faith in hitting a bomb of a drive and hitting the fairway, but in the risk reward equation, there was a lot more risk on the courses that we were playing than reward. I really did not gain anything by being an extra 40, 50 yards further. I mean, for golf people, I had a 3-wood and a 3-iron were my 2 highest clubs in my golf bag in college. that 3-iron is still my baby. I love that thing. I can legitimately hit my 3-iron 290 yards. That's two downwind. I might be able to squeeze out 300 out of that 3-iron. A 3-wood, my 3-wood.
Well, on the simulator, you squeeze a little more than that out of it,
Well, that's a simulator. I'm talking about
but
golf
you
course,
still
real
hit
world
it though.
conditions.
But you still, I mean, your driver was the same distance as it was on the tee box in the real world. So you've hit a couple of those 3-irons over 300,
Yeah, I mean,
318. If I'm not mistaken, it was 318.
I would. I mean, to answer your question about why he took it out, I could hit it a long way.
So you're hitting your 3-iron further than 90% of people in golf can hit their driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he took it out.
Doesn't that suck? Doesn't it just make you feel like, yeah.
Well, it's just doing that. It taught, I mean, and that was really, if I had learned shot placement and if I had learned discipline on when not to pull a driver out of my bag when I was in high school, like, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today.
Well, you're still young enough to change all that.
Well, I mean, you never know. I don't know. We're getting close to being done. Here is what I would like to do, since we've kind of talked about golf this whole time. I would like for both of us to discuss, we got New Year's coming up. We got some New Year's resolutions, but
I don't have resolutions.
I'm talking about golf. What are some goals that you might have for golf this year? Because we played a lot of golf this past year, and moving forward, what are some things that you would like to see? Would you like to break a certain score? Would you like to be consistently between 2 scores? Would you like to just be a better ball striker? What are you looking for?
My whole game is just about being a better ball striker. I think the score takes care of it. I think there's two mentalities. I don't think I've explained them here tonight, but one is I just want to be a better ball. I want to be a consistent ball striker, not necessarily a better one, just more consistent, whatever that is, whatever it looks like. I mean, would I love to be able to get that lean into that shaft so I could find my maximum potential with my swing? Yes, I would like to do that, but ultimately just find a swing that is repeatable. And I'm going to hit if I hit the golf ball correctly, I'm definitely between 260 and 280. That's plenty far enough. I'd like to be.
That's actually a great distance off the tee.
I'd like to be able to do better than that, but at the same time, the mentality of the score. I don't keep score. I just stopped doing that. I was going to say something earlier about I've been wanting to get me a hat. I heard somebody say this on the golf course. No, wasn't on the golf course, somewhere else. Said that you're not good enough to be that angry. I thought that was a great statement. I want to get me a hat, a golf hat that says you're not good enough to be that angry at your golf game. I don't keep score. I don't keep score. For one, there's no point to keep score because I'm not playing in the PGA Tour. I'm not in no tournament, and it doesn't matter what my score is. Yeah. I'm there just to have a good time. I count good shots. I just want to hit good. As long as I'm hitting good shots, then I'll worry about it. But if I'm going to hit 10 good drives out of 18 holes, I ain't bragging. I'm not bragging over that.
Yeah.
I need to hit 17. If I could get to where I could hit 17 drives and good ones and have a fly off one every now and one, then I might worry about trying to count a score. But until I can do that, ain't no way in the world I'm worried about no score. And why? Because all I'm gonna do is take the score and then throw it away. It just makes you madder. I just count the good shots because first of all, I ain't never gonna play in the I'm not gonna play in no tour. That'll never happen. So there's no reason for me to count score, but if I was to go that route, then there's 2 things that I want to work on and so that would probably be the only thing would be I do want to get better at striking the ball, but I want ball placement. If I could place the ball where I'm actually trying to hit the ball, then yeah, I would go back to worrying about my score.
I think that's very doable.
I don't think it's bad. I mean, I actually have already thought about some things I'd like to do this year working on the driving range, stop hitting golf ball. If I could get to where I could just strike the ball consistently with my swing, get it repeatable, then I'd love to start doing other things with it, like working on my accuracy, focusing on, I saw some drills and stuff I saw people doing where they have these paper targets and they put them up out in front of them and they try to hit them from, 50 yards away and try to knock a golf ball through them and stuff like that, working on that type placement and stuff. That'd be interesting to do. To be able to tell a golf ball what I wanted to do. Because you think about it, that's insane. It's insane. It's insane to watch somebody like Tiger Woods hit a golf ball 300 yards and dial that thing in like he's shooting a rifle. Because a lot can happen in a golf ball's path between where you hit it and where it's got to go in order to tell it to do that.
It's a game of precision at that level. Really.
Well, it has to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I guess once they've hit so many, it's got, and you're seeing so many repeatable groupings, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I think that
I wonder how many golf players think they hit enough golf balls to actually group a set of golf balls, or even have thought that they could do that. They might do it from the wedge from off 10 feet off the ground, 10 feet from the green, but with a driver, I wonder how many people have ever thought, instead of trying to hit it so far, if I could just group them, I could group them all within 10 yards of one another.
Yeah. I've got a couple different goals for this year. There's a couple tournaments that I'd really like to try to qualify for. But speaking of golf game, I think that this year, kind of maybe some this winter, definitely spring before summer. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to adjust my yardages. So, now, I can, if you told me a number and give me any club, I can pretty much put it on that number or pretty close to it. But I feel like I'm always I'm always there 100 to 110% on every swing. So, if I'm 200 yards out, I'm going to hit a 7-iron, right? And that's a full 7-iron. And I feel like if I hit a full 7-iron, I know what that ball is going to do. But what I would like to do is take about 15 yards off of every club, 10 yards, 10 to 15 yards. And I'd like to club up, and I'd like to have a more efficient golf swing. So, it's going to be, I'm going to say that everything beyond tee box. So fair approach shots primarily and par threes, really just iron play. I want to back off a club, and instead of taking just a gargantuan divot and compressing the crap out of the golf ball, which I'm still wanting to do that, but I just want to slow everything down a little bit. And I want to not worry as much about stretching to get that distance out of that club versus putting it 3 feet every time. That's kind of what I'm wanting to do. So, like, for example, there's a par 3. It's number 2 at the course that we play. And I believe that hole from the back tees plays about 185, somewhere in there. And all summer, I hit a 9-iron there. All summer long. I did not ever hit a club higher than that on that hole. Wind or no wind, doesn't matter. Thinking about that shot, every time I hit that, I bet I hit that green twice this summer. And when I did hit that green, it was like pure as pure gets, and it just happened to hit the green. I would rather hit an 8-iron there and swing 80% and just know what that golf ball is going to do. And also, when you back off a club like that, man, I don't even really know if I can do it anymore. I haven't really tried, but like in college, you could tell me in my backswing, what you wanted to see the ball do, you could say low cut, low high draw, stinger fade in my backswing, and I would be able to do that. And I mean, that's a playful thing, but I'm just saying my control then was a lot better than it is now. And I took time off. That's obviously expected, but I really want to dial in the precision of approach shots. I have the distance off the tee box. That's not really the concern, but from 150 yards in, I want the ball to be 6 feet or less every time, every single time. If I know what that green looks like and it's a hard green, I want to be able to say, I'm going to land this ball 10 feet, 15 feet short, and it's going to take one bounce, roll 3 feet, and stop. That's what I want to do this year. So
Yeah, I'd love to be able to do that.
So it's just, and putting has always been a struggle with me. I'd like to dial in putting this year too.
Yeah, you suck pretty bad.
I do putt. I'm not a good putter, man. I've never have been. That was my biggest thing in high school and college golf. I'd get a 3-foot putt and I'd be shaking at the knees, man. It's like just stupid. I shouldn't not be that way. But then again, it's between the ears. It's all nerves and it's self-doubt. And so just, I guess, becoming a little bit more precise and building a confidence again at a competitive level and kind of see what that gets me into this year. So,
Yep.
but
Sounds good.
anyway, well,
Yeah, the New Year's resolutions are almost around the corner. Everybody getting theirs lined out.
they are.
What all they're going to do.
Since we're on here, let's see. Today is December 16th.
Yep.
So Christmas
Next week.
is
That's what I said. It was
next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Wow,
We're here.
man. That's
If you didn't get your Christmas shopping done, well, tell them next year, folks.
How about that?
Yeah. That's
When are you? Or what's your plan for going home?
Christmas Day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well-
we go home. We go home on Christmas Day. We'll go visit the parents and then do that. And then we're back. We're going to be hanging out here.
So it sounds like to me that you might get guaranteed one, maybe 2 more episodes. Well, maybe 3 with a Sunday podcast. And obviously, I would say the Sunday before Christmas, we'll try to do a little bit more of a Christmas oriented Sunday service thing. So anyway, please be sure to like, subscribe, share us, go on Spotify and YouTube and Apple Music and everything.
Yep. We need that help. Well, guys, it was a great one. See y'all next time. Don't forget, God loves you. So do we. Peace.
Peace.